With these 4 amazing strategies, I'm pretty sure you will get that score you've always dreamt about in the writing section of the IELTS test. And make sure that you stick to the end, because the last one is what has actually helped most of my students get a 7+ score in the writing. So stick with me, and the last one is the best, so stick until the end. So the first strategy is pretty much based on understanding. The first thing you need to do is understand how the test works. You have to understand the structure of the writing test. So you need to know how many words you have to write, what kinds of paragraphs you need to use, what you have to write in each of these paragraphs, so on and so forth. Next, when it comes to understanding, it's understanding the type of question that you will see. So there are 2 tasks, task 1 and task 2, and there are 2 types of tests, right? There's the general training test and the academic test. In the academic test, for instance, task 1 is different. You're going to have to work with some kind of visual cue, usually a graph, a map, or something similar. If it's the general training test, you will have to write a letter or an email. So those are different. You need to understand that so that you do the right thing. Then when it comes to task 2, both types of tests, general training and academic, they follow the same thing. They use the same kind of question, which is a question where you're going to have to write an essay. This is usually longer, and it's usually a little bit more complicated. And you need to understand what kinds of questions you will find in these parts. Because, for example, when it comes to task 2, there are different kinds of questions that you will see. You can find questions that are opinion questions, or you can find advantages and disadvantages questions. So there are different types, and you must understand all of these types. After you've done that, after you've understood what type of question you have there, you need to understand the question itself. So the question is about technology, but what do they want me to write? Oh, they want me to give my opinion about technology, so that's what I'm going to write. No, it's not about that. It's about the advantages and disadvantages of the technological advances in the last 5 years. So that's exactly what you have to do. So that's basically the first step. The first step is about understanding, right? Once you understand everything, coming from the structure and then going through the last part, which is what you're actually going to write, then you're pretty set, you're pretty good. Secondly, you have to be sure that you use proper vocabulary and proper grammar, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have any mistakes. Of course, you can have mistakes, and those are okay. I mean, only maybe if you want to get a 9 and then you can't have any mistakes, maybe 1 or 2. But if you want to get a 7 or like a 7.5, you can have a few mistakes. It's not like any kind of a big problem. What you need to worry about is mistakes that are repeated, because once you make little mistakes, the examiner might think, oh, this person it's a small mistake. Maybe they know what's right, but in this moment they made a little bit of a mistake. So it's just like a slip, all right? They just slipped and then made a little bit of a mistake. But if you write 5 paragraphs, let's say, or 4 paragraphs, and then you have the same mistake in each paragraph, this is, pretty clear to the examiner that you don't know what the correct form of that is. So that means, of course, that you're making a mistake because of lack of knowledge. And because of that, your score is going to go lower. So you have to make sure that you use proper vocabulary and grammar. And when it comes to vocabulary, you have to make sure that you use vocabulary that is exactly about what your text or your essay is going to be about. So I'm going to write about technology, so I have to use words that are related to technology. Because, of course, it just makes sense. Everything you write has to be related to the central theme of the essay. In third place, we have practice makes perfect. So you have to make sure that that you practice, right? Because I've mentioned this a few times, when I'm speaking in some of my courses, that we haven't practiced enough, right? We usually do a lot of listening, we usually do a lot of reading, we usually do some speaking, but we rarely do any kind of writing, right? Especially when we are in regular courses just learning English. We don't do a lot of writing. So you have to make sure that you practice. I usually recommend my students to go to their limits, right? I mean, I would love people to write every day, but I know that that's not doable for a lot of people because they have jobs, families, whatever. So what I actually recommend is that you write as much as you can over the week, right? Oh, I do have some free time on my week, and then I know that I can write 3 or 4 essays or 3 or 4 task ones, whatever, a week. That would be good, but you have to make sure that you set a goal that you know that you're going to be able to stick with for some time. Right? Oh, I can do 3 and then I can do 3 for like a long time. No, 3 is actually too much for me. I have to do 2. I can only do 2. So do 2. Doesn't really matter. What matters is that you practice as much as you can. Practice makes it perfect. So you have to make sure that you do practice. Last but not least, it's actually the most important thing, is finding an expert, right? So I understand that finding an expert to help you is not the easiest thing because there are, hundreds of people all around the world. There are different people with different kinds of experience and different kinds of pricing as well, right? Some people are cheaper, some people are more expensive, and then it's kind of hard. But you can't really go far if you don't have a person to help you, if you don't have somebody to help you, I like to talk to my students about this, and I like to think about Olympians, right? Olympic athletes. These people, they only become what they become, right? They only get like Olympic medals because they're able, of course, because they have the talent, right? And they practice, they train a lot, but also because they have a coach, right? They have somebody to analyze what they do and to have them go through the right path, right? They're able to see what athletes cannot see in order to improve their performance, right? They can see, oh, you're making a mistake here. If you do this, your time is going to be shorter, you're going to go faster, or I don't know, you're going to hit the ball some sort of way because you're doing this or that. So they know the techniques and they're able to see everything from a different perspective. And because they can see it from a different perspective, they can help the athlete go farther. Right? So this is exactly what I tell my students. It's like, you can do everything alone and you can succeed. That's fine. A lot of people do that. That's okay. But you will succeed much faster and you will improve, with like a lot more quality if you have somebody to help you. Because of this person is going to be an expert to help you, and this person is also going to see things that you yourself cannot see, right? We all have blind spots, and these blind spots are what stops us from doing things in a better way. So those are basically my 4 tips, right? My 4 strategies. And with these 4 strategies, I'm pretty sure that you will get farther and you will improve a lot faster. And also, I have a little bit of a reminder for you because our course on the writing is out, right? We have a course on Udemy called IELTS Crucial Focus on Writing. And this is a very specific course only for writing. So if you're struggling with the writing, if you're having difficulty with it, make sure that you purchase that course, you take the course. It's a very cheap course. It's on sale right now, if I'm not wrong. So if you're watching this video, like as soon as it came out or something like this, it's on sale. So you can go to Udemy and look for it. It's a very cheap course and it's very high quality. So I do recommend that you do that. If you don't want to pay for anything, it's fine. We also have a free course, not in the writing, but an introductory free course. So you can look for that too. Everything, all of the links will be on the video description down here, and you can go there and then see what we can offer to you. So I hope you really liked this video. I really enjoyed making this video and helping you get the best score you can in the writing test. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.